So let's just jump right in with a huge question, one that gets right to the core of what it means to be human. How do we express ourselves? And maybe more importantly, how does that expression both unite us and, at the very same time, define our unique cultures? Okay, let's really think about this for a second. Go way, way back, before we ever spoke different languages. And long before we started following all our different traditions, there's always been one fundamental thing that all humans share, and that is expression. It's almost like it's in our DNA to use images and music, stories and objects to try and figure out the world around us. And really, this is how we ask the biggest questions of all, right? The kind of questions you see here. Who are we? What do we actually value? And what is so important that it absolutely has to be remembered for generations to come? And that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're going to explore that fascinating link between art, the things we create, and how they become these powerful symbolic expressions of our culture. See, here's the thing you have to remember. Art is never created in a vacuum. It's not just pretty decoration. No, every single piece is a product of its time and place. It's like a snapshot that reflects a society's history, its core beliefs, its biggest struggles, and yeah, its identity. This brings us to the central puzzle we're trying to solve. Is art some kind of universal language that can connect with anyone, anywhere on the planet? Or is it always tied to the specific culture that it came from? Now, as you're about to see, the answer isn't a simple yes or no, and that's exactly what makes this so interesting. So you've got these two big ideas, kind of clashing with each other. On one side, you have art as this universal language, this bridge that can connect all of us. And on the other side, you have art as a cultural mirror, something that you can only really get if you understand the specific society it came out of. Let's dig into that second idea for a minute, art as a cultural mirror. I want you to think of it like this. Every single one of us views the world through what you could call a cultural lens. It's shaped by your background, your upbringing, everything, and it affects what you see, how you interpret it, and what you create. And what's really wild is when you see how this lens actually works. First, it totally influences how an artist even creates something, their style, the materials they use, the whole shebang. Then it shapes how we, as the audience, assign meaning to that work. And this is the kicker. It explains why two people from totally different backgrounds can look at the exact same object and see two completely different things. I absolutely love this quote from Kern Blair, quote, "No one discovers culture by staying at home." It just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? You often don't even realize you're looking through a lens until you step outside of your own familiar world. It's in that moment of contrast that you suddenly start to see your own biases and your own assumptions. Okay, but let's flip the script for a second. What about the other side of the argument? Let's talk about art's incredible unifying power, its ability to connect us, to challenge ideas, and to last for centuries. I mean, you know this is true. Just think about it. Some things just hit us on a deep, fundamental human level, right? A powerful beat in a song, the raw energy of a dance, a breathtaking landscape painting. These things can connect with us instantly no matter where we're from. It's like a language without any words. And that deep emotional connection is exactly what gives art its power. It can be used to challenge the status quo, to question authority, and to stand as a powerful symbol for an entire group's identity. And that kind of power, well, that's precisely why some people find art so dangerous. And that perceived danger actually has a name: iconoclasm. It's the deliberate, calculated destruction of art and cultural symbols. So why on earth would anyone do that? To silence a message they're terrified of, or to completely erase an identity they want to get rid of? The fact that people go to the trouble of destroying art is honestly the ultimate proof of its power. So you might be thinking, okay, this is all interesting, but why does it matter outside of a museum or a history class? Well, because in our totally globalized world, understanding these ideas gives you a serious professional edge. The bottom line is this: getting a handle on cultural aesthetics helps you avoid some major misunderstandings. It lets you communicate with real respect and share your ideas without accidentally causing offense. This is how you build stronger, more effective relationships with people from different backgrounds, and that matters in pretty much any job you can think of. In today's interconnected world, this kind of cultural awareness isn't just a nice-to-have skill. Trust me, it is absolutely essential for professional success. So what's the big payoff here? By the end of all this, you'll be ready to develop clearer, well-reasoned arguments about any form of human expression, because you'll be able to see it not just for what it is on the surface, but for the deep cultural and historical story it's telling. So the next time you come across a piece of art or music from a culture that isn't your own, I want you to remember this journey. Think about the meaning being created there. How is it being shared? And how can you respect the story it's telling, even if, and especially if, it's different from your own?
Because in the end, understanding art isn't just about understanding objects, it's about understanding people. And that is a skill that will truly never go out of style. Welcome to Module 5.